Have you noticed that different people have different social media platforms they prepare to spend their time on? Some people will be like, I'm a TikTok person. Some will be like, it's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, X, or LinkedIn, etc.
So as a business owner, how do you make sure that no matter the platform that someone prefers, they can find you there? Because I've heard a lot of people say something like, oh, my audience are not on Facebook, they're on Instagram, or my audience are not on Instagram, they're on TikTok, they're on LinkedIn. And I know that is not true.
Exactly. Why a large percentage of your audience might be on one particular platform, you are still missing out on a fraction if you do not distribute your content to the other platform. Because let's face it, you cannot force people to come to the particular platform that you prefer. You have to go and meet them where they are. Yeah. And that is why in today's episode of Video Marketing Podcast, we are looking at the concept of one content, multiple platforms. My name is Korede Latif. I'm the founder of Promise Studios, where we help you to leverage video content in order to boost your sales and increase your income.
And I am Fumi Korede, co-host, and I'm here to make sure that Mr. Korede does not turn this into a monologue.
Exactly. So sit tight because we are going to be diving into something very exciting today.
Yeah. I've heard you say this several times and many times. Say be everywhere with your content. What do you mean by that?
Okay, let me kind of take you back in memory lane. Let's look at maybe in the 90s and maybe early 2000s when we used to have like 3 TV channels. I actually grew up in Rivers State. So we have RSTV, we had AIT, we have NTA. So those are like the major platforms that we had access to then. And we used to watch some of these shows like I think like Super Story, Binta and Friends, Papa Ajasko, and the rest of them. Now there are some brands that sponsor these programs. There are some brands that put their content, their adverts, they put them on each of these shows so that whichever station that these people want to show any of these their program, you are going to hear about that brand there. Now, coming back to in our era now, most people don't spend their time on TVs anymore. You see, most people are usually on their phones. Now, the channels we have now are no longer limited to those 3. We have so many social media platforms. We have Instagram, Facebook, and the rest of them. So these are the TV channels now. So all you need to do as a business owner is to ensure that your content, your brand is being seen on any of these platforms that your audience might be.
Wow. So, Mr. Korede, what you're trying to say is making sure you meet your audience where they are instead of you expecting them to come and meet you.
Exactly.
So that would take me to another question, because I see a lot of people repurpose, will I say repurpose or convert? They repurpose their long form video, their long form YouTube video. So they repurpose it to, let me say, audio podcast, and some of them convert it to shorts, TikTok reel, and Facebook reel. What can you say about this?
I think that's one of the biggest mistakes that I see most people make, because you don't treat all the platforms the same. What works on YouTube does not work on maybe TikTok or Facebook or any of the other platforms. Let me give you an instance. If you record a long YouTube video now and you rip out the audio and place it on audio platforms like Spotify. Now, the people that are listening to the audio on that Spotify, they will start hearing things like, look at this thing on the screen, look at the graph on the screen. Those that are listening, I've listened to a lot of podcasts like that, whereby the person is going to be talking to us as if we are actually watching them. Meanwhile, I'm just listening. So that disconnects the audio listeners. They don't follow along anymore because you are showing something on the screen and I'm just hearing you. I can't see it on the screen.
And they will feel like you're not communicating with them.
Exactly. They will feel like this program is not for me. So that's exactly one of the mistakes that I see a lot of people make.
But what about cutting out, let me say, the interesting part? Cutting out the interesting part, the good ones, then converting it into that short reel.
Okay, now for at least that works most of the time, because I see a lot of short form videos that we extracted from YouTube videos. In fact, there are a lot of tools nowadays that you can just throw your YouTube videos there and they give you reels out of it. That works some of the time, but not all the time. Because what I see a lot of people do is that they pick their long landscape YouTube video and punch it into a vertical video. Now, when you did not record that video for for that purpose. Like when you were recording the video, you didn't add that, you didn't have this mind that you're going to be repurposing it for Instagram or TikTok reel. Now you will see that most of this video, most of the time when they're punching in, it's going to pixelate. Like the video is going to drop quality drastically.
Yeah.
And most of the time, see, the thing does not fit in the landscape, the vertical Instagram or TikTok. This again, you now see maybe some of them they have
Like
black bars.
the aspect
The
ratio.
aspect ratio does not really match anymore. So if you really want to do it that way, it's just to finally think it ahead of time instead of you to just pick that video that you not had in mind before creating it. You just have it in back of your mind before you start that, okay, this is what I'm going to be using this for.
Okay, so I see intentionality here. So it's not just about being everywhere. It's about being intentional about where you want to be.
Exactly. That's just it.
Okay, all right. Now that we know what not to do, so can you just tell us what we can do, the right way of doing it?
Okay, so I actually made mention of it before now. So now the right way to do it is to start with the end in mind.
Okay.
Before you even create that content, have it at the back of your mind, all the platforms that you plan to distribute this content
to. Okay.
So if, like this podcast we are recording now, we know that we are going to convert this to audio podcast and put on audio platforms, even if we are recording video for YouTube. Now, when recording this video, we are going to have the audio people in mind. So there will be nothing like, look at this thing on the screen. Instead of that, you now hear something like, okay, if you check the show notes or you check the description, if you check the what's it called, a description of this video, you are going to see maybe a link that will take you to or whatever. So with that now, you have everybody in mind. And if you want to record a landscape video that you have intention of converting to maybe Instagram Reel, what do? You record with maybe 4K resolution. At least when the video is recorded in the 4K resolution, when you convert it to portrait, the quality will still remain.
There, it will not pixelate.
It will not pixelate.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
Also, when you are framing for maybe the landscape video, you give some space instead of recording a extreme close-up
that will be so tight.
That will be so tight.
Okay.
You record like a medium shot.
Okay.
So that when you punch it into a vertical video, it's still there will still be room. It's not like when you like some videos when you see it, by the time they convert it to Instagram, it's only the head and the neck that is remaining. Majority part of this thing is already cut off.
Yeah, and it will not even be interesting.
It's
there
not
was
be
one I
interesting.
saw one certain time like that. Like you need to see the video is so, I don't even know what to compare it to. The head is cut off. I'm just seeing only the face. I was like, why would they post this kind of thing?
That's exactly what it means. And sometimes these videos might do well. It might do well by accident, but the major thing is just to be intentional about it. Before you create it, as long as you know that, okay, this era we are now, this is not the era whereby you stay on one platform. I'm going to create. I don't just to waste all my energy creating this video for YouTube alone or creating this video for Instagram alone. You have all of these platforms in mind. And I think that I see a lot of people do. I also make that same mistake some of the times that there's this autoresponder app we use for Instagram, many chats. So most of the time we use the call to action like comment so word and I'll send it to your DM. Now that doesn't work for TikTok. That autoresponder does not respond to TikTok.
Really?
Yes, it works mainly on Instagram. Though it works for TikTok, but not the comment section. The one that works on TikTok is mainly on the DM end. So when you now say comment this and I'll send this to you, if you have that automation on for your Instagram audience will receive it once they comment that. But your TikTok audience will not receive it. So because it has happened to me severally, whereby I have to just go back to the TikTok and start replying them one after the other. And another funny thing is that most of the time you cannot even send maybe link to their DM. So you have to just keep the link in your DM and ask them to go and click it there. So it's just to know all of these things. So now the thing that I started doing after then is that since I know that, okay, this video now, I'm going to post it on Instagram. I'm going to post it on TikTok. I'm going to post it on Facebook. So I will use the call to action that works for each of these. So I don't need to record the whole video like more than once. I will record the whole video, the same message. But now the ending part of it, which is the call to action, that's like instead of now saying comment this thing to get it, the one that I want to post on Instagram, I'm going to use that call to action. Okay, comment so word and I'll send it to your DM. Then, but the one I want to post on TikTok, I would rather say go to my link in bio and click this.
Yeah.
So with that now, those that wants to check that thing out on Instagram, they know where to go. Those that want to check it out on TikTok, they also know what to do, so that you don't kind of put everybody together and end up throwing some people away at the end of it.
Wow, that makes so much sense. That means one message, multiple angles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So to wrap up today's episode, what we are saying is that make your content to be on all the platforms. Start with the end in mind. Know all the platforms that your content is going to be distributed to and create your content accordingly.
And also, don't rush it. I repeat myself, don't rush it. Start with one platform. Get better in it. Do your research properly. Then you can move ahead to another platform.
If you enjoyed today's episode, click on that subscribe button and follow me on Instagram at Korede JL. And we are going to see you in our next episode.
Yeah.